Hi, thank you for joining me again. My name is Dwayne from Quikbiz Education. All right, so today what we're going to do, we're going to look quickly again at the types of organization, but we're looking specifically at the main features of these different types of organizational setup. Okay, so in looking at the main features of these organizations, we're using ownership and transparency, we're using finance, and we're also using control to identify the key features. All right, so this is just quick revision for you. You can take some time and look at the advantages and disadvantages of each of these organization setup, but we're just looking at the key features. All right. So in terms of ownership and transparency for a private limited company, what you want to understand is that we can say they're called shareholders because they would have a part of the business, but not shareholders in terms of like people outside of the family, just anyone who can purchase. In a private limited company, just remember private, it is normally linked to family businesses. Okay, in terms of transparency for private limited companies, and this is dependent on the country. For most of these companies, they will have to send their financial statements to a registrar of companies. But again, this is country dependent. In terms of the public limited companies, the owners are really shareholders. Okay, and in terms of transparency, they have to report all their financial records to the public. Okay, and it has to be transparent, absolutely transparent. Okay, and here they can advertise their shares on publicly. Okay, and that's how we'll have the shareholders. For the non-profit social organization, these are normally operated by or in partnership with governments. Okay, now for financing, if the private limited companies require additional capital or capital to expand additional capital, they can get that from their partners in the business. They will not go and advertise this publicly. For the public limited companies, if they are in need of additional capital, let's say to create a new product, then they can acquire that by advertising and selling shares on the various stock exchanges. Okay, for non-profit social organization, they normally would get their funding from the government. Okay, in terms of control for a private limited company, okay, the control will be done according to the agreement signed. In terms of public limited companies, control really is from the shareholders. So the shareholders, they have the say, because they would have like voting rights at the AGMs, okay, to say, okay, we want this director, we don't want this director, we want to do this, we don't want to do this. Okay, in terms of control for a non-profit social organization, because remember, we're looking at charities, we're looking at creating social needs for citizens. Okay, there is really no set terms because they can be a little bit more flexible, but in terms of control, you might also have based on what they have agreed on. Okay, so these are just some of the main features, key features of these different types of organizational setup, the different types, forms of companies that you might have. Okay, so thank you again for joining me, and join me again next time.